So it's starting to sound a little like the definition of insanity. You've probably heard that old adage, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again. Somehow you expect it to be different. So there's a lot of people out there using scrummy words. They'll even use vocabulary from extreme programming, user stories, story points, right? But yet they're behaving in a waterfallish way. They're still doing work the old way. They're following a project management mindset, handoff from team to team, function to function component model. But because they're using all the new vocabulary, they somehow think this is going to be different, or that we somehow think this is going to meet those goals and objectives or deliver faster. That's not really realistic. The same thing happened in the United States anyway, back in the waterfall movement. Many people may recognize Edwards Deming's name from the work that he did at Toyota. And TPS, Toyota Production System, is one of the things that helped revolutionize the way Toyota ran cars through that process. Now, when Edwards Deming turned his attention back to the United States in the 80s, when we started paying attention to what companies like Toyota were doing, he's like, what is going on here? You guys are copying without knowledge. Not only did the waterfall movement get popularized by a white paper where the author said, don't do any of this, hence Deming's term, copying without knowledge. Nobody bothered to read. They looked at the famous picture that looked like a waterfall. He was frustrated by the Toyota speak and people talking about lean Six Sigma. We're going to do the Toyota way. And he's like, how are you going to know if what you're copying is right? How do you even know what the hell to copy? Because none of you have gotten knowledgeable about what's actually going on. It's pretty impossible to copy another company's culture. You have to take the journey for yourself. You can be inspired by another organization's decisions, but you need to sit down and have the conversations for yourselves. We need to have the learning for ourselves. And so the other challenge is that your organization may be copying without knowledge, which is alive and well in the Agile movement. And I can prove it in every single Scrum class. I'll beg people to read the Scrum Guide, which is free. And then when we start talking about the fact that user stories aren't in the Scrum framework, I watch people's heads split open. But that's what we're doing. It's like, read the Scrum Guide. I'm telling you the truth. Well, then how come we're doing that? I don't know. You guys copying without knowledge? And it's not that any of those things are bad. They're not good either. The more important thing is, when did a product owner sit down and talk to the other people and say, does putting things in this story format help us? Does it confuse us? Does it advance our understanding or our goal? Or is it a bunch of busy work? Because if you look at the definition from extreme programming, stories were supposed to be told, not written, told to the people doing the work. And then they were supposed to write down for themselves so that it made sense. But if you're just having people formerly known as analysts writing user stories and handing it off to somebody else that's reading it, smells a lot like a requirements document being handed over. So this copying without knowledge is alive and well in the Agile community. And so leaders who don't understand, who don't get knowledgeable, who don't set the goals and objectives, who don't find out what these things mean, and then have the conversations, are at the heart of a lot of this dysfunction.